Reporting from Jacksonville, Florida, where the Jacksonville Jaguars just defeated the New England Patriots 31-20. The Jags were up the entire game with Blake Bortles leading the way with 4 touchdowns. As you can imagine, it wasn't all smiles after the game. Junior Amanda Lorenz got emotional when talking about playing her last game with the 4 seniors. Reporting from the Exactech Arena, where the Florida Gator volleyball team and the Georgia Bulldogs were neck and neck the entire match. There's a ton of high school district volleyball tournament matches happening tonight. The Stronach Group, owned by billionaire Frank Stronach, promised to finance a new $15 million athletic complex at North Marion High School. The state-of-the-art sportsplex would include a new stadium, artificial turf, a video scoreboard, and large stands with VIP seating. So grand that it would have been capable of hosting state championships. However, it was too good to be true. After a year of meetings that were moving the project forward between the Stronach Group and the Marion County School Board, the Stronach Group reneged the offer, saying company representatives never approved or authorized the project. School County spokesman Kevin Christian says the entire community was let down.
Well, I think everybody responded in the same way. Wow, this is wonderful. And then, oh my gosh, I can't believe this. You know, it was disbelief and big disappointment, especially to those students who were looking forward to that kind of a facility at their school.
Students like football player Jalico Gaskin.
I was pumped. Like, I was ready for the new equipment and see how it was going to look. But then when it never happened and he left, everybody was like, what happened?
It wasn't all bad news. Instead, the company donated $125,000 to the school. It wasn't the $15 million they were expecting, but it is the school county's largest donation in history. The school used the money to buy a $50,000 scoreboard, a new sound system, and paint to add the name onto the press box. The school saved what is left of the donation and is putting the money toward eventually building a new locker room. Unfortunately, the school doesn't have the funds to renovate the rest. Jalico says he was most looking forward to the new seating to fit more Colts fans. But he's staying positive since accepting that the complex will most likely never be built.
I love it. Ain't nothing really, I'm used to it, but like I said, a change is always great.
Kate Venezio, WUFT News. In 2017, 16-year-old Zach Martin collapsed at the end of a summer football workout. He died of heat stroke.
Because if they had had water and ice, it most likely would have saved his life.
Florida currently ranks number 5 in the Corey Stringer Institute rankings for high school safety. They jumped 18 spots higher since last year. But Zach's mom, Lori Giordano, said it still isn't enough.
Their score was still only 62%, which isn't a great score. So being ranked number 5 isn't necessarily something they should be proud of.
The leading cause of death in athletes in Florida is exertional heat stroke, with 2 deaths in the last 4 years. If history repeats itself, the next death could be in 2020.
We would think that the state that leads the country in deaths secondary to heat stroke, which is not a statistic that we want to lead the country in, that those modifications would have been made mandatory, and they were not, unfortunately.
The FHSAA said during a meeting it would be too much of a liability for them to mandate having cold water immersion tubs on the sidelines. Those have a 100% survival rate if used effectively. The FHSAA declined to comment when asked for an interview, but the problem isn't to do with money.
A cold water immersion tub can be a kiddie pool from Walmart. It can be $8, and then ice and water is usually free. So cost is really a non-issue.
And heat stroke doesn't just happen in football. It can happen in non-contact sports as well, like track and field. Gainesville High School football head coach Patrick Miller said it's extremely important to have cold water immersion tubs on any sports sidelines.
Ice baths are good not only for recovery, but also it cools the body down. So when you cool the body down, you help prevent any kind of heat illness or any kind of heat stress. So it's always good to cool the body back down, especially after working.
And to prevent another death like Zach Martin's.
And sometimes it still doesn't seem real to me that he's not going to come home. And it just breaks my heart over and over again.